For those who don't know, this is Rick with Hit and Run Candlesticks. I'm glad to have you here at our Charts and Target pre-market on a Monday, June 23rd. Hey, good morning, Julie, Rem, Mike, Daryl, Gold, Alan. Good morning to you. Joe, Roger, Bill, Sonny, good morning. Let's see, let's come over here. There we go. Let me flash this real quick. There we are. Okay. Hey, wow, what a weekend, right? There, um, man, there was, I answered several social media posts. I had several texts that was sent to me, some emails, like what to do, what to do, what to do, what are we going to do, what are we going to do, and every one of them, I may have said it in a different way, but it all boiled down to don't panic, is what it boiled down to. Yeah, just don't panic. Don't chase either. Don't think you're going to get some, like oil stock. Don't buy into some oil stock thinking it's going to rip today. I mean, it could. Don't get me wrong, it could. But I think the number one thing to do today is let's just see how the market takes everything. See how the morning goes, and maybe the afternoon will give some killer entries on some really good charts, and maybe early too. Hey, good morning, Vernon. How are you? Let's kick off by, we've got housing sales here today at 10. And then you've got consumer confidence tomorrow at 10. And then Mr. Powell speaks at 10 as well. We'll worry about the rest of it tomorrow. So let's get that out of the way. What else do we have here? Let's take a look at the transports, IYT. Transports are down pretty good, kind of approaching that 50-period moving average. Now, the 50-period moving average can act as a good bounce or a snap back to the upside. We're also at the 50% retracement. It might be hard for you to see. I have it kind of light on my chart here, but right there is the 50% retracement. Just simply taking the highs up here, November, and then the recent lows down here in April. SMH, take a look at SMH. It's rocking. Go SMH. Hey, if SMH, if the Qs, if tech wants to lead this market, lead away, big boy. I'll take it. I'll take it. So it's still working. You can see it's up here at the top. Doesn't mean it's going to fail. Let's watch what the trend does. Trend right now is leading up. So I have no reason to think that's not going to continue up a little bit. All right. What else do we have? Oh, hey, do me a favor. Hey, look, if you would like to come to the, only register if you want to come. or any recordings that are made, if you'd like to come, please register. And I say any recordings because one of the things I'm going to do a little different at this open house, rather than just look at charts or everything, we're going to have little mini classes. So there'll be a class on a 3-8 trap, round and bottom breakout, pinball setup, blue eyes failure, pullback opportunities, trending continuation patterns, and pop out of the box. But to receive that recording, you will have to register. Okay, please do that. And that way you don't have to be there. You don't have to be there at all, and you'll get the recording. Okay. All righty. Where else are we? Oh, hey, let's talk about energy. I really did receive an awful lot of notes today. Yes, over the weekend, whether it was text or email, on what energy stocks are we going to buy? Because they're going to rip. They're going to rip. We even had some Yahoo on our Facebook channel. World War III. Oh my gosh. and that's not the way it is. But let's take a look at some energy stocks. So what I've got here is I've set this scan up to where they have to be trending. I'm looking for a 3/8 trap or below the highest high in the past 5 days. So let's just take a look at some of these. Look at BP here. Now I thought energy was going to rip today because, oh, there was a war and all kinds of problems, right? Doesn't look like it so far. Let's take a look at ET here. Now, I'm not saying that these aren't going to go up, and they very well might, but I want to see the ones that are setting up. I don't want to chase the ones that have run up too much, okay? So look at ET. That might be in a buy area. Maybe not right now, but it could be this morning or today if it starts moving up. How about a DTM? Look at that, DTM setting up in that 3/8 trap here. SU setting up in a 3/8 trap below the highest high in the past 5 days. SLB, look at SLB setting up. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Great target. SLB is a rounded bottom breakout. This is one of the ones we'll be talking about tomorrow. And of course, the 3/8 trap entry we'll be talking about, and below the highest high in the past 5 days. So registration is important. Anyway, seriously, on everyone that I wrote to over the weekend, don't panic and don't pre-buy in your mind. Sunday while you're mowing your lawn, don't be out there gritting your teeth thinking, okay, I'm going to buy this one. I'm going to buy that one. Yeah. Just pump the brakes on that. Stick your foot in that lawnmower. You need to change your attitude. How about we just wait till the market opens, and how about we just see what happens? Okay. How about we do that? And as you can see here, well, everyone who's planning out there, to go buy a bunch of oil, and I'm not saying there won't be some good oil out there to buy, and the charts may really, really start taking off, but let the charts do their job, and then you watch the charts. Okay. I wouldn't just assume that, don't assume that everything is just going to rip here. But look at OIH, beautiful 3/8 trap setup. Take a look at TRGP, beautiful 3/8 trap. Look at Conoco, beautiful. I mean, there are lots of charts out there setting up. Look at Diamondback, beautiful. Halliburton, beautiful. I mean, these charts haven't run up. They haven't, they're not ripping anybody's face off. Look at DVN, BTU, MCP. Popped up a little bit. Now it's pulling back into buy area, buy territory in here. Anyway, I don't know. Any good ones on here? Let's XLE. Look at XLE not taking off right there in the pocket. How about Oxy? Look at Oxy. Beautiful. Okay. So anyway, the thing today is don't panic, stay calm, and maybe the first 5 minutes of the market is not the time to be chasing. Okay. All right. Let's see here. What do we have here? Good morning, MW. Good morning, Stefan. You want to look at some CCK? Let's do that. Look at CCK. Trending up very nice. I'm going to check the weekly out here. Yeah. Trending up very nice. It looks like, you know what? I'm going to do this. There we go. We've cleared that 50% retracement area. So right now I would have to look at, what is this? 104, maybe, low 105s. And then just look at this. See where this, I'm going to draw this line here first. Okay. And we'll go, there we go. Let's do that. Now let's go get this little arrow over here. Look at that. See how price gets there? And we've got a bunch of price right there. You've got some price right here. This came close. That makes that for a pretty good target. Let's put this back on the daily because that's where I would trade it. There it is. So right now, that's what I would look at targets, keeping in mind that we're going to have, pullbacks along the way. Okay. Pullbacks along the way. Hey, good morning, Hydro. How are you? KYTX. That sounds like a radio station. KYTX. Whoa, that's a nice chart. Rounded bottom breakout here. Rounded bottom breakout. Also, 26% to the 200 period moving average. That's a beaut. That's an absolute beaut. Let's flag that one. Volume is I'll just say okay. All right. Nothing bad about the volume. It's just okay. So here we've got this big, nice downtrend. We've rallied up. Here we tackled the dotted deuce right in here. We rallied up, almost tackled the 200, came close. Pulled back, found support on the dotted deuce here. This is one we're really going to talk about tomorrow. And here we're closing over the T-line yesterday. That's looking pretty darn good. And again, with 20% to the 200 period moving average, that's a super chart. I would call that a super chart. UAA, yeah, UAA. What in the world got into this thing Friday? I have no idea. I didn't look up the news or anything. But this is, I can't remember if I put this on social media or not. I know I remember looking at it. I may have posted a chart on Facebook and X. Might have. And then, of course, the weekend YouTube. Hey, I want to thank everybody for watching our YouTube channel. I truly, truly appreciate it. One thing I want to try to do is, I put things out there. I talk on the YouTube channel, show charts. But if anybody that's watching the YouTube channels, if you will leave a comment on things you want, okay, don't ask for what do I think of XYZ. Please don't do that. What I'm asking for is what kind of information would you like to see on the YouTube channel? All right. Anyway, sorry, I digress there. Anyway, UAA or even UA, I think looks absolutely fabulous. You've got about a 10% move to the 200 period moving average here. Watch for a little bit of a rest in here. That's a great looking chart. Rounded bottom breakout. We broke out of the 50 period moving average. We actually made it to the dotted deuce. And now we're back to the 50 doing either a bounce or a snap back, whatever you want to call it, off that 50 period moving average there. Looks great. Looks great. So thank you very much. Got a few others here. NU. Take a look at NU. NU. Let's just nice, short, and simple here. You know what? Let's back up first. Yeah, let's back up first. There we go. There we go. So number one for me, right there, we're going to have to climb over that 50% retracement. Let's put this line on there. We could be, right on trend right there. So we start to bounce or, snap back above that $12.50 area. And then all of a sudden the targets become very clear. We're going to look at the recent high, and then the next target up is about that 1430 area. So not a bad chart right there. Not bad at all. Thank you very much. AAL. I don't know if you're looking long on this or short on this. Long is a great big negatory. Short, follow the trend. Follow the trend. There we go. Follow that trend. Grab. There we go. Grab. Once again, I'm not sure if you're long or short on this. So, um, again, it's all about the trend. So follow that trend right there. Uh, Look for targets to the downside. So right now, oh, probably right in the 425 area. Um, maybe a little bounce up would make for a better entry on that. Yeah. I'm gonna assume you're looking at this one long, I think. Yeah, I'll assume that could be a mistake, but I'm gonna assume it. Here we're moving up. We're right here at the 50% retracement. I really don't like the candles in this. I really, really don't. So this is probably the last one on earth I would be looking for some, sneaky peeky entry on it. Um, Honestly, uh, we start breaking out of about 585. That would interest me perhaps, but trying to nail some super secret entries, probably not the thing I would do. Let's see. AAO. You know what? I apologize. I just read the rest of what you wrote. Long idea. I'm going to go back to a couple of those others. Let's look at AAL. Look, everybody has got their, you know, that got your thing. So I'm going to announce right now, if you ask me if this chart is long, without question, I'm going to say no. Absolutely zip, zero, nada. Why? It's in a downtrend. That's why. And trying to pick a stock in a downtrend, we're friends today, but I'm going to lose my friend down the road, meaning you won't be around, not trading anyway. Bottom picking, it's just embarrassing. You don't want anybody to see you with your fingers stuck in your butt. And that's all bottom picking is. Wait, wait, wait. Wait for the bulls to step in right here. Now, this is me trading. You might have your own idea. Everyone else has their own idea. But nowhere in that chart can anybody argue with me that there is a long setup happening. It's still trending down. Okay. Whew. Hope that makes some sense. Netflix. Netflix is acting pretty good. The trend is up. That's what we want to see when we're looking at something long. Look at the green trend indicator. We had a slight little pullback, consolidation, and now you can see price trying to lift up a little bit. It's a 3-8 trap. So anything above the T line, I would look at it being a buy. Watch 1260.50 up here for a breakout, and that could lead even higher. Nice. Let's see here. Whoops. There we are. Okay, sorry, I need to get caught up with things. Hymns. Yeah, Hymns is incredibly popular with people. And boy, is it, I bet it's unpopular today. I'll bet it is. I have to wonder, is there some kind of news on Hymns to do this? That's a lot. That is a lot. That's a ton down. Yeah. So I will have to wonder if there is some news. I have had targets. Well, I've got targets up there on Hymns. To me, looking at this chart outside of today, I don't think there's any reason in the world why it shouldn't go up. So I'm suspecting that's some sort of news announced today that really knocked it off its saddle up here. Yeah, so kind of we'll put I wouldn't. Yeah, so what was the question on news? Maybe I should getting killed. Yeah, bad news. Oh, you just said bad news. Yeah. Well, that just ruined everybody's good day on Hymns. That's for sure. Hey, Bell. offshore biggest gas field, 1974, Lone Star, America. You wouldn't believe it got bottom hole pressure, PSI 10. Thank you. I'm afraid I'm not an oil person, so some of that I don't really know what that means. CBS. Wow, S. That's a nice 3/8 trap right here. And that's about the 50% retracement. You can just take this high here, right there. Yeah, here we took out that 50% retracement. Let's get rid of that. We rallied up, we pulled back. That's setting up very nice. So right now, we'll put the first target at reaching that top up there, and then the second target. I'm right here. There we go. See how little high right in here, over here on the left, and then that puts us at about 87.5 on the quadrant lines here. That's pretty nice. I would keep an eye on that one. And yeah, CBS is nice chart. Let's see here. My thoughts on KMX. Another rounded bottom breakout. I love this. I love this rounded bottom breakout setup here. In a nutshell, rounded bottom breakout, a chart that's been beat down, and here it is beat down, and now it's starting to come back. The first sign of coming back, in my mind, part of the strategy is coming back over the 50-period moving average. And targets are always 100% start with the dotted deuce and the 200-period moving average. And then from there, you can find other little minor targets based on price action or any other indicator that you might be using. But right now, I think that's looking absolutely terrific. From the trendicator to the 200 is 14%. So that's not a bad little trade there. We'll keep an eye on that one. Thank you. Very nice. Bullish potential, SWKS. Yeah, SWKS is one I did YouTube video yesterday or Saturday. Can't remember now which one it was. But it's setting up right through here, and it's right at the 50% retracement and the dotted deuce area. On positive trading up, I'll be looking at that 200-period moving average up there. Okay. AIR, AIR. That's another one. Let's just get rid of those. Another 3/8 trap setting up here. Very nice 3/8 trap there. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, take the weekly. You can see that we've, right here at this breakout zone. So I think we, overall we need to, I'm going to put it right there. Overall, we need to break out. But once we do, I think that is one that just might act really nice. It's so close. Look at that trend coming up. Boom. Yeah, good one there. TXT. Let's see here. TXT. 3/8 trap. Yeah, that's looking great, Bill. Beautiful 3/8 trap. Also, I really like the price action through here, the contraction of it, the tightness, almost a pop out of the box. Almost. Let's jump to that weekly, and then let's just draw a line here. So that looks like that would be a target right now. Move over that 200-period moving average, and then get up there at that trend line. That's about 8% away. Another way to do this was the way I kind of like is come down here and draw that right there. And when this happens, I love this. When I love it, there's three things I love about this. And it's all focusing on this 50% retracement. If I set this up from the high to the low, and if price is under the 50% retracement, that becomes a big target. Well, there we are. Now, while we're at the 50% retracement area, that tells me some wonderful things. Because if we start to break out right there, I want to be bullish on that. Now, something else is once we pop up, there's a high probability that if it pops up, you're going to get a pullback. And now it acts as support. Watch for the test, and that could send us up the rest of the way there. Very nice chart. I love that. Thank you. Let's see. Rickster, Trump is talking about biotech. Osmica, is that what it is overpriced, wants to come down. Let's see. There's the news on HIMSS. A couple people left them, I guess. Is that right? All right. All righty. How we doing over here? Any last minute questions? Oh, yeah, there's a couple. Let's take a look at CRCL. Hey, again, Sean, CRCL. Yeah. It's trending up. I don't know what to say about charts like this. Charts like this, you kind of have to ask me a very, very detailed question. Follow the trend. You know, that's the only thing I can say is follow the trend if you really want to trade these. Short, well, you know, let's see if it's going to be short. Yeah, let's see if it is. We don't know that for sure yet, but it might be heading that way. That's for sure. Might be heading that way. That's for sure. Shooting star here. Let's see. Rick Collins, where do you get the Fibonacci background? Huh. I'm not sure what you mean by Fibonacci background. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Background throws me. On TC2000, it's just the Fibonacci retracement. Now, I don't use just Fibonacci retracement. I have two Fibonacci markers on here. One is the 38.2 and one is the 61.8. I have two. The rest of them are all just quadrant lines. That's what I'm looking at here. Here's a chart that I bought Friday. And those members that have the app, you were alerted on the app, okay? You didn't even have to be in the trading room. You could be out playing golf, fishing, packing your ice chest full of cold beer for the weekend, you know, and you would have gotten an alert that I bought ASTS along with the month and the price. And it's working out pretty good. So right now, based on what I see here on these lines, target wise, my first target is around 42.30. Then the T line is going to be another target, and then a target here, 38.90, and then we'll worry about, you know, we'll see what happens. Okay. All righty. D Jelly. Take a look at HE, and then I think I have to call it a day here, running out of time. This thing is just running sideways. If you wanted to buy it and just wait, sure, why not? But right now, I don't particularly see any, you know, compelling reason to be in it. I'm more of a timing kind of person, so you know, just to buy and hold. Now let me kind of back up a little bit. What we're doing now is swing trading. Okay, I've got a longer term account. That's a different ball game. But what we're talking about here is swing trading, and taking profits. So I look at this and I see a chart that's just moving sideways. Nothing compelling. No compelling reason to get in it based on a swing trade. However, a long-term trade, it makes sense to possibly buy it. We're holding the 200 period moving average. You know, we get below that. We get below 10 bucks. You might not want it perhaps, but for a swing trade, I would need to see some buyers come in there, a reason to buy it. reason to buy it. All righty. Everyone, please remember tomorrow is Tuesday. Tomorrow is the open house. I do invite everybody over to see for the open house. Please register, and members and right way options. Welcome. Will be you're stuck with me. We'll talk about that later. I'll see right way options and hit and run candlesticks at the bottom of the hour. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Tammy, I'll answer your question in just a second.